Hi and welcome to TMG. Today we're going to be reviewing the cult classic TV show Freaks and Geeks. If you've never heard of Freaks and Geeks, it's like a teen comedy drama, and it aired in 1999, but it was actually set in like the 1980s. The town that it was set in was actually like a fictional suburb of Detroit. I'm going to start off by saying this is a really good show. I feel like they do a really great job of making you feel like you're in the 1980s. Just the characters sort of talking about standing in line for tickets to go and see The Empire Strikes Back, or not wanting to go to a party because they're too worried about missing an episode of Dallas. It's just little things like that that really make you feel like, yeah, this is 1980. One thing this show does really well is the music. I mean, this wasn't a really big budgeted show, didn't have a lot of money, and what money they did have, the majority of it went on the music. I mean, even the theme song is absolutely perfect. It's Joan Jett's Bad Reputation, and it just fits so well to these characters and the theme of the show. This isn't a show that tries to like glamorise the characters' lives. It never feels like really over the top or really like Hollywood with its storylines. For the most part, it feels like sort of genuine high school problems. Never seems to be sort of really over the top. I mean, obviously on occasion there's a few, but for the most part they do sort of seem to stick to these really believable storylines, and it works. It's the same with the characters. I mean, all these characters have flaws. None of them are perfect. These aren't the popular kids. I mean, they're the freaks and the geeks, which I think makes them a lot more relatable because that's the sort of thing that most people can relate to. I really like the way the sort of show opens. I mean, the very first scenes of the show, you see like a football tryout and you see a cheerleader talking to a jock. Then the camera just pans down to underneath the sort of bleachers. The music kicks in, you see all the characters, and it's really good the way they do it. If like me, you've probably heard of the show because of just the cast alone. I mean, this is a really famous cast. You've got James Franco, who was Harry Osborn and the second Green Goblin. He's also gone on to do 127 Hours. You've got Seth Rogen, who's in Knocked Up, The Interview with James Franco, Pineapple Express with James Franco. You've got Jason Segel, who went on to star in Forgetting Sarah Marshall, and obviously everyone knows him as Marshall from How I Met Your Mother. I mean, even the guest stars went on to have really good careers. You've got Lizzy Caplan, who appears in a few episodes, who obviously went on to Mean Girls and Masters of Sex. You've got Rashida Jones from Parks and Rec. I mean, watching this show, it's hard to sort of believe that the main star, Linda Cardinelli, didn't go on to have a bigger future than she did. I mean, don't get me wrong, she's had sort of a good career. She was in ER, she's famous for playing Velma in the Scooby-Doo movies, and most recently she's played Hawkeye's wife in Age of Ultron. But in this show, she stands out. I mean, she's in there with like all these people who are big stars now and have gone on to have great careers, and she's the standout of the show. And it's not just because she's the star of the show, she's just really good. My favourite character in this show would have to be Bill, played by Martin Starr. And he's just absolutely brilliant. He's one of the geek characters, because what you do is you have the freak characters, which is the sort of older teenagers. This is Lindsay Ware and all her friends, so James Franco, Seth Rogen and Jason Segel. You've also got the geek characters, which is like Lindsay's younger brother and all his friends. But my favourite character in this show would have to be Bill. And he's just like the nerdiest guy in the show, and he just doesn't care one bit, which makes him the coolest guy in the show. And yeah, I just really like that. Even with the sort of star-filled cast, this show isn't worth watching just for the stars alone. It's worth watching because it's a good show. It's really well written, and even a few episodes in you can sort of see why it's a cult classic. NBC aired the show, but they cancelled it during its first season. But you can watch all 18 episodes. The full season is up on Netflix in the UK, so if you wanted to check that out. I'm not sure about in the US, but I'm pretty sure it'll be available on DVD and maybe Blu-ray. Without giving any spoilers away, I will say that don't be scared of watching the show if you think like, oh, I don't want to watch a show that's been cancelled because it's going to end on some big cliffhanger. It doesn't. It actually ties up sort of fairly well. I mean, yeah, it's not a definitive ending because maybe they was hoping for a season 2, but it wraps it up enough where you feel like it's complete and it's sort of a self-contained story. So it's not frustrating, you feel like you get some sort of closure from it. If you have never seen Freaks and Geeks and you've sort of heard that it's just a cast and that's all you think it is, it's definitely worth checking out. I mean, I give it a 4. I really enjoyed it. I can definitely sort of see myself going back through and watching them again. If you've seen the show, I'd love to hear what your thoughts are. Whether you liked it, hated it, think it was overrated, or agree that, yeah, it's just a really good show that sadly was cancelled sort of after its first season. Whatever you sort of think about it, let us know in the comments below. And until next time, thanks for watching.